The Harry Potter show just got some breaking news. We finally have our Golden Trio casting, and that means that filming is set to begin very soon. We're going to break down all the details in this video, so let's go ahead and get started. This is coming from harrypotter.com. They posted Harry, Hermione, and Ron casting revealed for the HBO Harry Potter show. They started off by saying, "We officially have our main trio. We're delighted to confirm the casting of Dominic McLaughlin in the role of Harry Potter, Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout as Ronald Weasley for the Harry Potter HBO original series." They said, "Here they are, your brand new Harry, Hermione, and Ron, who will star as the three best friends in the upcoming TV show, have now been revealed." Now in the press release, they continued by saying Francesca Gardner, the showrunner and executive producer, and Mark Mylod, director of multiple episodes and executive producer, spoke of the casting after seeing tens of thousands of children audition for the parts. They said, "After an extraordinary search led by casting members Lucy Bevan and Emily Brockman, we are delighted to announce we have found our Harry, Hermione, and Ron. The talent of these three unique actors is wonderful to behold, and we cannot wait for the world to witness their magic together on screen. We would like to thank all of the tens and thousands of kids who auditioned. It's been a real pleasure to discover the plethora of young talent out there." They then said that the open casting call for the main trio opened up in September of last year, and in December, Mark Mylod revealed that they had already seen 30,000 audition tapes trying out for the coveted roles. The press release then continues on by saying the three young actors will join a plethora of TV and film actors that are beginning to make up the full cast of the series. They will combine forces with John Lithgow as Professor Dumbledore, Janet McTeer as Professor McGonagall, Papa Sidhu as Professor Snape, Nick Frost as Rubeus Hagrid, Paul Whitehouse as Argus Filch, and Luke Thalen as Professor Quirrell. Hogwarts is beginning to look pretty full indeed. They then continued on by saying the series will be a faithful adaptation of the beloved Harry Potter book series by author and executive producer J.K. Rowling. The series will feature a new cast and lead a new generation of fandom, full of the fantastic detail and much loved characters Harry Potter fans have loved for over 25 years. Each season will bring Harry Potter and these incredible adventures to new audiences around the world, while the original, classic, and cherished films will remain at the core of the franchise and available to watch globally. The series is written and executive produced by Francesca Gardner. Mark Mylod will executive produce and direct multiple episodes for HBO in association with Bronte Films and TV and Warner Brothers Television. They concluded by saying the Harry Potter TV series will be an HBO original and premiere on HBO Max. So yeah, there you have it. We have our Harry, Ron, and Hermione casted officially. And what that tells me is filming is about to begin very soon, which honestly, like, we kind of expected this. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I've been saying that as soon as we get the Golden Trio cast, like, everything else is going to start happening very quick. And it seemed that they already started filming previously because they were already seen in places like France near the Taveneck Lighthouse, where the hut on the rock will likely be located. That's where, you know, the Dursleys and Harry went. Whenever he was getting a ton of letters, they went away, and they went far away to try to avoid those letters, but inevitably, you know, Hagrid found them. Yeah, so my initial reaction and just impressions for the cast reveal, like, I think this is fine. I think they look the part, and I think that's the only part that matters. Like, I'm sure they have the acting chops to be able to do the roles, but myself, like many others, they don't really care about the younger cast. The part that really mattered to me was the older cast. Characters like Dumbledore, which I thought they crushed with John Lithgow, Nick Frost as Rubeus Hagrid, which again, I think they did a really good job with him. Probably my favorite so far, but I think the younglings definitely look the part, which is awesome. Like, that's really the only part that really matters. As much as I would prefer that every single actor that plays a role is faithfully adapted to the specific characters of the book, like, that's what I would have preferred. But at the end of the day, J.K. Rowling is an executive producer on the show. She effectively is the final sign off when it comes to a lot of these decisions, I'm sure, especially whenever it comes to her original works. So the buck kind of stops there. Like, if she doesn't like something, I'm sure that she has that voice to be able to say, hey, let's change this up and make sure that it's more faithful to the books, but she clearly didn't do that. Now, one thing that is obvious and kind of a concern that I have is HBO, in terms of their quality, has kind of gone downhill lately. We have House of the Dragon that, you know, I thought season 2 was pretty bad. And then of course, you know, season 2 of The Last of Us, like, that was just, whew. Where do I begin with that show? Like, how does a season 1 be so good and then have a fall off that bad with season 2? And that's the same thing that happened with House of Dragon. So yeah, am I a bit concerned about HBO? Yes, I am. But do I think they're going to kick things in gear again going forward? Like, I think they clearly have to. Like, season 3 of House of the Dragon has to be absolutely immaculate. And that same thing goes for the Harry Potter show. Like, it better be amazing, which I don't doubt that it's going to be amazing. I think they're going to be able to adapt it perfectly fine, especially since there's already a blueprint for the movies that's like a tried and true success story. So really all they have to do is kind of copy their homework, but just hopefully do it better. But that could very possibly end up being they, you know, copy their homework, but just do a worse job, which again, I don't hope that. I don't want that to happen, because I think a successful Harry Potter show just means that more Wizarding World content is going to happen in the future. It's so weird how many franchises are currently like down in the dumps. Like you've got Harry Potter that, you know, is pretty dormant for the most part. And then you have Lord of the Rings with Rings of Power that's also kind of on a downward trend. And then you have Star Wars, which, you know, there are some highlights of Star Wars, but for the most part, like the sequel trilogy, which is absolutely terrible. So yeah, hopefully we get some revivals of our favorite franchises. Like someone's got to get their head out of you know where to be able to get these franchises back on track. Like we want faithful adaptations that are true to the source material, not things that like completely deviate and just are a shell of the source material. So now the question is like, when is filming going to officially begin? Now that we have the Golden Trio fully cemented in, filming should be starting like relatively soon. I'm guessing that they're already going to be starting it within the next like 2 weeks. We heard a while ago that they weren't going to be starting it until like the summer. Well, with summer 2025 rapidly approaching, like we're getting really close to summer. It's only about a month away, and once that starts, everything else is going to really be kicking into high gear. Like we could be about a month away from our first official look at some of the cast members like fully suited up in their costumes, which like I said, that could begin as soon as next month. Now when it comes to like when this show is going to release and when are we going to get our first teaser trailer, that stuff is not going to happen until 2026. Like that's just straight up not going to happen until next year. My guess is that we're going to get the announcement of when the release date is sometime in like either the spring or even summer, and then we won't get the first teaser trailer until about 4 to 5, maybe even 6 months prior to season 1 actually starting. But I don't think they're going to be like really hush hush. Like I don't think it's going to be a situation where they announce the cast and then they just go radio silence while they film. I think they're going to trickle in news every like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to hype up this show. Like this is going to be a colossal project for them. The budget's absolutely insane, so they're going to want to make sure that the marketing and hype is there. Like there's no way that they're not going to do that. So that means the news and updates for this show are about to be so crazy. Like we're probably going to get news like every other week. Heck, it could be every week as we lead up to filming, and then after that it'll probably be like every 2 weeks we get news drops. And that's not even mentioning the set leaks. Like the Leavesden area is going to continue to get developed, and as that gets developed and all the new sets start to get constructed, we're going to see all of that from drone footage. We're going to know when it's happening, which again is really exciting. Like we're probably about a week or 2 away from seeing Privet Drive like fully constructed to the point like visually it looks like Privet Drive. And as soon as that happens, your boy will be updating you guys on this channel. If you guys have not already subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe to Westworld. I'll be covering all of the latest news on Harry Potter's show. I'm also going to be covering Star Wars, the DCU, the MCU, the Avatar series, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and so much more on this channel. So definitely subscribe with your notifications turned on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be yapping in another video soon about Star Wars, so stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching, everybody. This has been Wes, and I will see you guys on the other side of the world. Mischief managed.